Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion,
hello, everybody! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that dares to start its third installment of High School Musical with Troy!
Oh, Dan! I think I've told you this, but sometimes I'll quote that to Gage just by singing it. He does not appreciate it. Oh, I love that scene more than anything. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I am Dan O'Keefe, and the mad quoter that was just speaking, that's Anna Otto. How are you, Anna?
Dan, I'm so good today. I mean, I know I'm having tacos for dinner, which has nothing to do with the podcast, but I'm really excited about it. Also, I'm great because I really like High School Musical 3.
Also joining us for the third and hopefully not final time, but for the final time for a little bit, Caroline Norton. How are you, Caroline?
I am so good. I am ready to talk about this movie.
You both are very excited for High School Musical 3, more so than the other two.
This is my favorite one.
I just think the songs, get better with each movie, personally.
Yeah.
Some of them don't slap quite as hard, but some of them really, really go there, so.
Some of them slap so hard you injure your wrist.
Amen. Like a wrist snap, from that
Absolutely.
Contact. Ooh.
Ooh?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I pictured... Never mind.
No, say it.
I pictured my hand slapping a nice, rotund booty.
So yes, the nice rotund booty of a film we're talking about today is High School Musical 3.
Oh my god.
Senior year. Again directed by Kenny Ortega, starring Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, Lucas Grabeel, Corbin Bleu, and Monique Coleman. The only installment of the series to be released in theaters. It was released by Walt Disney Studios on October 24th, 2008. In the United States. In London, it premiered a week earlier.
Ooh, la-di-da.
I know. So fancy. It opened with the largest opening weekend of a musical in all time, with $42 million in its opening weekend. It eventually made $252 million over the entire span of its run worldwide.
It was only beaten by Pitch Perfect 2.
Get out
That's
of my
right.
face. Oh my god.
Fun fact.
Anyway.
And the theatrical cut was 111 minutes, but if you're watching it on Disney Plus, according to Wikipedia, it's exactly 2 hours.
It is exactly 2 hours. Gage was about to watch it with me. I was like, buckle up. Here we go. 2 hours of High School Musical.
I literally started it when we were going to record this podcast the other day. I woke up just in enough time to be able to watch it and have 30 minutes in between watching it and recording it.
Yeah, we're recording this...
And then it didn't happen, but it's okay.
We're recording this 2 days after when we normally do because I have a wonderful car that breaks down for an hour and a half, and then when somebody else goes to start it, it works fine. So that's a very non-specific way to say I had car troubles, and that's why we were delayed. And also because I hadn't watched the movie by the time I would have gotten back, and I needed to do that.
Y'all, am I the
Support
only
it.
one on top of things? I was watching the
Absolutely.
movie, I was taking notes, I was vibing, I was really living the dream over here, I was like, yes, I am High School Musical. I don't know.
You're the MVP, Anna.
Thank you. I'm the Troy Bolton of this team. Y'all Chad and Zeke, get on my level.
I want to be Zeke. It
I
would
wanna
be
be
an
Zeke.
honor. Okay, fine. I'll be Chad. Chad's great.
Okay.
There you
This
go.
is a great movie for Chad, too. Let me just
It
say.
is.
It
It is
is.
a great movie for Chad's hair
Oh
and his
my gosh.
sideburns. They really brought me to attention. Okay.
Okay, Wildcats. Do either of you remember the first time you saw this?
Wait just 1 second. I absolutely do. But the fact that you just said, I don't know if I said this last time in the podcast or if I just said this in passing to Gage, but the amount of times Gabriella calls Troy Wildcat makes me
Yes.
think that she doesn't remember his name and it's too late to ask.
You did mention that, and I've been laughing about it since.
Okay,
because
good.
when I rewatched High School Musical 3 in preparation, I started counting the times, and then I forgot what I was doing. But
Yes.
I originally began counting the times that Gabriella calls Troy Wildcat.
It's so much.
I love you, Wildcat, but I need to stay right where I am.
I love you, Wildcat. His name is Troy. Okay, anyway, Caroline, when did you first see this movie?
I saw it in theaters, straight up, 2008, right? I was in 4th grade. Yeah. I was living my best life watching High School Musical senior year. I was ready for it.
Did
I'm
your
still ready
actual
for it.
senior year live up to what High School Musical set up?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I thought college was going to be so much easier to figure out because of High School Musical 3 senior year.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, you get a scholarship, you get a scholarship, you get a scholarship. Guess that's where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Anna, do you remember the first time you saw it?
I do. I was at a slumber party. I'd not seen it. I was very innocent because there's a scene where Zac Efron walks over Miss Darbus and his whole butt and crotch are in her face, and all the girls thought that was so funny, and I was like, ha ha ha, because I didn't get stuff like that when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I think that's why I'm so immature now. It's because I wasn't immature when I was supposed to be. But anyway. It was fun. I liked it. I mean, obviously, I've watched it a couple more times since then, but I've definitely seen 1 and 2 more times because I went straight in 7th grade into 8th grade. I went straight into the Twilight phase, so I kind of didn't get a chance to really resonate with High School Musical 3.
You could say that you entered the Twilight Zone of your life.
Boo.
I hated
that was greeted with the proper amount of silence that it deserved. This most recent time was only the second time I ever saw the movie. I got it on DVD in 2010 or something. I watched it with my brother. I remember liking it. I thought it was fine. I really liked The Boys Are Back.
That is Gage's favorite
12.
too.
It's so good.
It is no longer my favorite.
Okay.
But it was maybe 10 years ago. Another fun fact about this movie when it was released, as I said, it was October 24th, 2008. The 2008 stock market crash was September 29th, 2008. So this was a welcome respite from people's troubled times and their foreclosures. They instead got to see Troy and Gabriella's massive homes in this movie.
Yeah. We haven't discussed the opening number yet, but I'm going to just jump ahead a little bit and talk about
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
The house party after the opening number, which I do want to touch back on. The house party he throws with the whole school? Impossible. With whose money? How can your yard fit that many people? On a teacher's salary? What does the mom do? I need to know. She's got to be
must be like a brain surgeon.
Yeah, some big fancy hotshot something. Because, they're not making that money on a gym teacher's salary.
Did we ever learn the mom's name?
Mrs. Bolton. Duh.
Mrs. Bolton.
Well, do you know what her first and middle name are?
No.
It's Bernie Madoff.
Oh my god.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, he ran a Ponzi scheme and he stole $40 million from people.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's probably what she does.
Speaking of Ponzi schemes, High School Musical 3 starts off right in the middle of the championship basketball game, again between the East High Wildcats and West High Knights.
They're the only 2 basketball teams that exist in this universe.
Apparently.
There's no other schools nearby. Everybody in the state of New Mexico either attends East High or West High.
Yeah, that's it.
The
that's
state
all
is
of New
split
Mexico.
directly down the half.
But
That's why so many
it's
people
split
go
into
there.
half north and south. And they just named it strange.
Weast High and
Weast-High.
S-Tie.
So yeah, it starts off in halftime of the basketball game. The East High Wildcats are getting their butts kicked by the West High Knights, absolutely smoked. And then in halftime, Coach Bolton gives not an inspiring speech.
Not
He
at
barely
all.
does anything
Can we take a moment to talk about how they're down 20 points?
at halftime.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
And
Good luck to
basketball
them.
is short. It's not like football. You don't have like 2 hours left in the game.
No.
No, they have 16
They have
minutes.
16 minutes.
16,
That's the whole song
16,
about.
16 more
But,
minutes
like,
till we get it done.
I feel like this was the lamest, like, for how pumped up they are when they leave that locker room. It was such a lame, non-pumpy series of speeches.
Yeah.
Also, at this point, so Coach Bolton gives a kind of speech, Troy gives a kind of speech, and then now Troy and Chad are co-captains, and when he goes to Chad, Chad doesn't give a speech, he just does, "What team?"
You know, that cheer always pumps me up. I would be like, Wildcats!
I
You know?
wanted an inspirational speech from Chad.
We got an inspirational smolder from him.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Before he says what team.
He
I do
aged
enjoy
so
those.
well. I'll take it.
He does.
Corbin Bleu just gets better with age.
He does. He does.
So after the series of non-speeches, they go out and they start playing basketball again, and we get our first song, the opening song,
Oh.
16 minutes or whatever
Can
it's
I
called.
just say, this number, 16, made me want to like basketball so much.
Hold on, y'all. Isn't this song called Now or Never?
Sure.
I guess, but like, all I, like, it's known for 16 more minutes till we get it done.
Hey,
16 more minutes, get ready,
Game on!
You know,
Ooh.
like, that's all we know for. It could be called whatever, but we're gonna call it 16.
True.
But like, it made me want to enjoy basketball so bad, but real basketball does not thrill me in the
No.
way that this musical number does.
It's the same as Get Your Head in the Game. Kenny Ortega and whoever wrote the lyrics for this song really had us singing about basketball. Like in Get Your Head in the Game, we're like, I don't know, shooting a J, and I hope that's not something inappropriate. I'm not really
no,
sure.
that's the term. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
The outside J.
and this song had us singing about like coming in from the outside, dribbling the ball, shoot, score. You know, like I don't know. Can you tell I went to a lot of basketball games in college?
Absolutely. Can
Oh.
you tell I went to none?
Unrelated, one time when I was working at Bed Bath & Beyond, a basketball player came to from Marquette came to the store, and he's wearing like all his basketball garb, and I go, "Oh, you go to Marquette?" And he goes, "Yeah, I play basketball. You ever gone to a game?" I went, "You ever been to the theater?" And he said, "No." And I said, "You have your answer." I went to like 2 games, that's a lie, but sometimes it's fun to be the worst.
I successfully graduated from Marquette without having ever attended a single basketball game. I
They're
really
fun.
wanted to. It just never happened.
They're fun,
Oh,
for sure.
I'll
They're
go as
fun.
an alum.
Anna, you described what he was wearing as his basketball garb.
Yeah, like a jumpsuit. You know what they wear? Like the
It's like not their uniform, but all that extra stuff.
Yeah, like they all have the sweatsuits, the sweatpants, the little jacket, you know.
They're
probably-
little monogrammed, matching.
Their Nike
tracksuits.
shoes. They're probably holding a basketball like Chad does everywhere, just to connect us
Yeah.
back to High School Musical.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the What Not to Wear podcast. We'll be back next week with some more
Yes.
fashion advice from Anna and Caroline.
Yes.
So in the middle of the song, the Wildcats, they're coming back. Troy can hardly breathe,
Oh,
but
Oh.
you know that he can when Gabriella goes, Troy!
now I can hardly breathe. Oh, I love that.
Oh,
That scene.
I love this.
Oh, it just really fills up my set. Because everybody else, you know, you forgot to mention, she rises from a crowd after they all put up signs that say, like, go Wildcats, and they're all hiding, and she rises. She's the only one not wearing red, and she stands up, and, oh, it just, oh, man, that scene, chef's kiss, you know?
You know why I love this so much is because
No, why?
I'm going to tell you, Dan. I love this so much, and I think this is why I love the third movie so much, is because this is like, from the first number, they are fully embracing that this is a musical. And it is so much more of a musical in terms of like how the numbers happen and how showy they are. And it's so much like, this is the High School Musical. The other ones were like movies that had some songs, but like this one,
I said the exact
is
same
it.
thing. I was like, this one's so much more like a regular musical. They also incorporate like pieces of actual sets in this one.
They do, yeah.
Wow. I'm just so every time I say the same thing or take the same note as somebody else, it just fills me with such joy. Okay.
Same page? Same page?
Yes.
But, like, that's why I love it. She stands up and it's all dramatic, and I'm like, this is why I go to the theater.
Also in this scene, can we talk about how they have giant, like, paper mache wildcats? Like, they have so many fancy decorations. I'm like,
This
what?
was budget.
My
I
high
also
school was
love-
not that wealthy, apparently.
I love that in this opening number, too, we see the progression from 1 to 3 in terms of them not sticking to the status quo, right? Because now Martha is a cheerleader.
She is, and those uniforms are cute as hell. They're very
Yes,
age
they
appropriate,
are.
and I love them.
And Ryan is the school mascot.
Yes!
What?
Yes.
Like, I love how they, like, everybody who has, they all have these different talents and these things that make them them, and then they're blending and they're meshing in and exploring new talents and new things that excite them. And I think that's really cool, because it's not as divided anymore, because you've got theater kids participating in basketball and the Smarty Smarts participating in cheerleading, and then those same people are also doing theater. That's the kind of cohesion that I wish was in my high school.
Yeah, things that don't happen in a real high school. In real high school, you're so cliquey that your Spanish teacher pulls you aside and goes, none of these groups are going to matter when you get to college.
Okay.
Was that bitter? I'm sorry.
So anyways, the Wildcats end up winning the game when Troy gets the brilliant idea to have Rocket Man check in and stand underneath the basket to shoot the final shot. It works. They win.
It works.
Rocket Man, we're introduced to him. And then we go to, I assume, Anna's favorite part of the movie, the party, the state championship party.
We're turning up. They're so wealthy. They're so wealthy. There's parents, there's kids. Like, that was bigger. The biggest party I was allowed to have in high school was a cast party, you know. And that was pretty raucous, I'd say. But, like, not whole school. Like, if you mean the whole cast of Wizard of Oz, yeah. But, like, not the entire school. But also, you know, I live in a normal-sized house, not a giant Disney Channel original movie-sized house.
Right.
Think about the price of land and the price of homes in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can buy a 9-bedroom, 45-bathroom mansion for the price of a Sharpie.
I'm looking up what the price of a
You're Zillow-ing?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
going on
Zillowing
Zillow.
some stuff.
So as they Zillow, I'll just say that Troy and Gabriella, they play in Troy's treehouse that has a pirate ship wheel, and they sing a song that I got bored during and kind of zoned out.
Oh,
It's
you don't
called
like
Right
that
Here,
song?
Right Now.
I like that song.
No, I don't like the ballads because they remind me of Kelsey.
Wait, can we
I hate
pause?
Kelsey.
Can we pause for just a second and go back, because we mentioned Rocket Man, and I think that it's important to mention that this actor, Matt Prokop, I think is his name, is an abuser. So
Well, that's not good.
that
Wait,
is kind
who
of
is?
the
Rocket Man?
guy who plays Rocket Man. He
Oh, God.
did some other stuff with Disney Channel, and he dated Sarah Hyland.
I was going to say, was
from
he the
Modern
one who dated
Family.
Sarah Hyland? Ugh.
Uh-huh, and he was very abusive in that relationship, both physically and verbally. So,
Great.
putting that out there, not a good dude.
No.
We can recognize that and then continue to discuss. But I did want to say, like, he's no bueno. He's the one, he's the black sheep. He's the no-no in this whole otherwise series of delight.
Well, I'm
We
gonna
here
counter
at
that.
In Conclusion
sorry.
LLC would like to say that if you are physically abusive or mentally abusive, stop it. Don't do that. You're a bad person if you do that.
Yeah, and if you are being abused, reach out. It's okay. It might seem scary,
Yes.
but I don't know. I don't know how
Absolutely.
to help somebody, but I would like to, so I'm trying. Completely unrelated to serious topics, but going back to the movie, I can approximate, according to Zillow, that Troy Bolton's home cost roughly $850,000. Thank you. That's it.
Oh my god.
Yep.
For that size house, you know what? That's pretty fair.
I mean, I'm looking at a castle. Like, it's huge. Like, I wish I could show it to you. There's another one that's actually really cute for 162. I'm trying to move. But yeah, his house is pretty hefty. So
Speaking of pretty hefty, it's time for school again. And Mrs. Darba's noticed, oh my gosh, there are not many people who have signed up for the spring musicale. What's the deal? So, Kelsey...
Oh, wait, did I miss the whole discussion on Right Here, Right Now?
yeah, Dan
I said
he
I
didn't
got
like
bored
it.
and I don't like it.
It's a great song.
I said
One
I liked
of
it
the
too.
best Troy and Gabriella duets, I think. And I also love that as soon as it ends, she's like, is this a Pirate's Wheel? And then there's the whole, like, fun, like, discovering all of his little toys from when he was a kid. And I love, my favorite moment is where he has the cape on, he goes, coming, Mom, and then swooshes the cape and goes away. I love it because we don't see these teenagers as kids, but, like, they were kids when this happened. Anyways.
I won't say that we don't see these teenagers as kids.
Because they're full-on adults.
Because they're grown-ups.
And also because we do see them as children. At least two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
In a little bit.
I also think
Anyways.
that line specifically feels just very Zac Efron. Like, almost like it just said, coming, Mom, and he was like, I'm Zac Efron. I'm cute and, like, fun to be with, but I'm gonna make this line goofy. Thank you.
yeah.
Suffice to say, he's an actor and he's pretty okay at it, so.
Anyways, I really had to throw that in there before we got back to school. Sorry.
Okay.
We're back at school now.
Now we're back to school. Ring-a-ding-ding. Oh my gosh, that's the bell.
I already have something to say before we get to the spring musicale. Sharpay's
Okay.
assistant gives her
Oh, yeah.
a latte in a bag, okay?
Yeah.
And it doesn't even the way they're swinging this bag around, it's like it's very clearly empty. They're like, I got you a latte, and like swinging it like crazy. Gage and I were watching this, and we're like, that thing would have spilled like 20 times over by now.
I also wonder, did they cast this girl who plays Tiara Gold? I believe she was in, maybe not, I don't want to say that. She's not. I was thinking she was in Legally Blonde.
Oh, no, isn't that the
but I
two
don't think
twins
that's
from
her.
Sweet Life?
Yeah. Definitely is. But this actress is British.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure. And so
Yeah,
I wonder...
She is from Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. I wonder if they specifically said we are casting a British actress for this role, or did they just end up with her and they were like, oh, well, let's throw in the stuff about her being from the London Academy and stuff.
The initial actress that they offered the role to was Selena Gomez.
Of
Shut
course.
up.
I can definitely
Absolutely.
picture that.
Oh my god.
I can see
So-
that 110%.
Ugh,
Unless Selena Gomez is incredible at hiding her accent, I don't think that's what they initially planned.
Cool, so that's cool. That's a fun little... They kind of customized the role for the actress that played the role. Anyways.
Also,
that's
no,
cool.
Dan, Selena Gomez is from Texas, not England.
That's what I was...
Oh, I thought you were saying, like, unless
what
she
he
is
meant.
secretly British. I was like, what? She's from
No.
Texas. I was so confused. Okay, never mind.
Okay, speaking of confused, Kelsey,
She's always
You-
confused.
she signs everybody up in homeroom to audition for the spring musicale after Sharpay says, why don't we just make it a one-woman show? Which is absolutely what the president of the drama club would do for their senior year. I 100% believe that would happen.
One
Oh,
woman
yeah.
show?
Uh,
You
so-
mean my capstone?
right?
My failed
Joan of
capstone.
Arc.
What up, Joan of Arc?
So they end up announcing that the show is going to be called Senior Year, focusing on the futures of the seniors, and that
Miss
Sharpay, Ryan, Kelsey, and Troy are all considered for Juilliard.
Two things. One, Miss Darbus going, Chad, this show is about you, and Sharpay faints.
I love it.
Two, I teased this last week, I think. When Gage and I first started dating, one of the things he said that made me laugh so hard, I don't even remember the context, he just goes, if Lady Gaga didn't get accepted to Juilliard, there is no way Troy Bolton would have. And I think about it all the time. Okay.
I also, can we talk about how it is illegal for Mrs. Darbus to send to send an application in Troy's name to Juilliard? One. Also, Kelsey, I believe, was like younger than the rest of them. And they don't mention that at all, that she's graduating with them. So, like, did she skip a couple grades? Or did she just grow and they were like, everyone will think that she's the same age now? I don't know. And three...
Listen, she's a monster. So
Kelsey is
it
great.
Doesn't matter.
And you're just a hater. And
Dan, you are a hater.
Haters back off. Also... I love the Chad moment after the show is about you, Mr. Danforth, and he's like, if it's about me, then can I have my ball back? And then like looks up pleased when
She's
she
like
gets
a
it back.
bros
I love
bro.
that moment. Anyways,
Oh.
but yeah,
Such a
definitely
bros bro.
illegal for that to
Also-
happen.
Gage and I were watching it, like I said, a million times already, but I'm going to reiterate. And his other commentary was, there's no way that Juilliard would ever come to a school to watch a play that was written by a student. And,
Right?
like, I know they wanted to see, like, Kelsey's songwriting skills and stuff, but also I feel like there would have been just a general audition where she could be like, here's a piece I wrote on the piano. You know what I mean? I just think that's
Also,
interesting.
they like 100% chose Juilliard because they were like, we want this to be like a dramatic college. Let's see, what colleges for theater are there? Oh, Juilliard, that's the one, right? That's the one theater school.
Yep.
And like they could have picked so many. They could have picked so many, but instead they go for Juilliard. And you know what this did to me as a child? This made me think that the only school that I could go to for theater that would be worth any salt would be Juilliard. And from literally, when I started in 4th grade, I was like, I'm gonna go to Juilliard! And 100%, Katie Cat could confirm this. My mother would confirm. I was like, I'm going to Juilliard. I'm going to Juilliard. And then I learned what it took to get into Juilliard. And I was like, I think I'm gonna go to Marquette. I don't think I'm getting. Yeah, I'm not doing Juilliard. Little podunk me as a high school kid thinking she could get into Juilliard. Heck no.
It's also expensive. I know a kid who got
so
into
much
Juilliard and
money.
couldn't go because it was too much money.
No, because they're not out here throwing scholarships out. That's
No.
another thing that's unrealistic. Juilliard ain't giving nobody money.
Like I said, the kid I know, he got in for guitar. He was obscenely talented. Didn't get any scholarships, couldn't go because it was too expensive.
Yeah.
Which, like, he ended up going to a different school to study guitar. He's still talented. Not the end of the world, but, you know.
Did he? Since he didn't go to Juilliard, did he go to Orange Julius?
I wish. There's only one of those, and
Right.
it's combined with a Dairy Queen at Southridge.
Anyways,
Sorry. Back to what we were talking about.
Sharpay knows that Kelsey will give the best songs to Troy and Gabriella, so she gets Ryan to get all close with Kelsey.
Even though the two of them are very clearly gay and want nothing to do with the other one sexually.
Absolutely.
But if they want to be friends, that's fine.
I feel like when I was a kid, I saw this as much more of like a, as a romantic kind of ploy. But rewatching it the other day, I was like, it's very like, seems very innocent, like friendship and less flirty than I remembered it being.
No, I definitely think
Which I think
Ryan
definitely-
and Kelsey are just friends.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways.
So then, Sharpay and Ryan, they sing "I Want It All."
Yes!
That's such a
it's
good
such
song.
a fun song.
It
It's
is.
such a good song.
They blew the budget on that.
Yeah, we were talking the last episode about how they blew the budget on Scream, and no way. The budget went to this number and this number only.
It did. The costume changes, the lights.
Oh my gosh.
Also, before this number, when they're getting their lunch, there's no way that lunch is government funded. Like, not a chance. Oh,
it's so good. I love this number. This is like little Caroline, who had just, I forgot my name for a second. I watched this. This came out, October?
24th, 2008.
I was in the middle of rehearsing my very first musical ever, which was Annie, the musical, when I was in the 4th grade, and it was a Christmas show. It opened in December, so we were mid-rehearsals when this came out, and literally the musical theater bug, it bit me, and all I could do was go, I want it all, I want it, I want it, I want it, just in my everyday life. It became my anthem.
I feel that.
Tiny musical theater lover Caroline Norton wanted it all, let me tell you.
Speaking of wanting it all, Troy asks Gabriella to prom in the next scene.
Very cute.
And she teaches him how to waltz. And again, to be completely honest, I zone out during these scenes. I'm like, yes, this is cute. But Gabriella bores me. She is not an interesting character.
She was wearing her low dukas to school like she was getting ready for a dance competition.
Also, Vanessa Hudgens' legs are like goals.
Oh my god, they're gorgeous.
Like, we see her legs for the first time in this movie, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, we saw her legs in the last movie, but like they do these close-up shots.
They're dancing, we're looking at their dancing feet.
And I was like, oh my gosh, she's got the best legs.
Mm-hmm. I was horrified the other day. I was sitting here and all of a sudden I heard her voice. I wasn't even watching the movie. It was an ad for birth control, but I was like, Vanessa Hudgens is in my life forever.
What did she say?
It was about Nexplanon, which I'll never get because I'm scared, because in the ads they go, if you at any point can't feel the bar in your arm, call your doctor. And it's like a whole procedure. Oh, no thank you. If you're doing that
scares
that's braver than me.
I just heard the name Nexplanon, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was signing up for a 60s pulp comic book villain.
Nope, it's a birth control.
It kind of sounds like spacey.
Right? That's because it's future-y, but it's scary. Anyway, Vanessa Hudgens apparently really likes it.
I love this number because I think it is so pure. And I know, Dan, you just hate ballads. Dan just wants Dan wants bop to the top and nothing else.
Okay, also they're dancing in the rain and she's wearing a white dress.
Yeah, I don't get why rain to me is not romantic.
Really?
And
I like a good romantic rain.
Oh god, no. I hate the rain. I hate being wet. Nothing makes me more angry than being in the rain. I like to watch it, but if I'm in it, I'm miserable. Also, this is the start of their day. They just got to school, and they are now drenched from head to toe. What, they're gonna go sit in homeroom now, dripping?
Yeah, that does sound awful. Like I said, she's wearing a white dress. It's not totally white, but it's white enough that I personally would be embarrassed, I'd be like, oh, I gotta walk around with my arms crossed and my legs clenched together so nobody can see my butt or you know what I mean? It's just...
in real life, what happens in this scenario is you have to then go to the nurse's office and dig clothes out of the lost and found bin, and that's what you have to wear the rest of the day.
Yeah, and they're
or you have to wear your gym uniform around.
Yeah, your sweaty gym clothes. What's up with that? Anyways, I know it's a movie and it's not realistic, but that bugged me.
Yeah, because they go home to Gabriella's house at the end of the day and they look picture perfect, whereas I would have looked terrible for the rest of the day. My hair would have been stringy. It would have been ugly.
Mm-hmm. No. So anyways, Chad then asks Taylor to prom, and she turns him down because it's pathetic.
Oh. I wanted somebody to ask me to prom like this so bad when I was in high school, and I went to high school. I went to prom with the same guy 2 years in a row, and I also went to
Ooh, I
two
went to prom
homecomings with him.
twice.
We had two
Ooh.
proms.
We had 2 proms.
What?
It's
We had one prom.
Oh, we
it's
had
The
two.
junior senior prom was for seniors only.
Oh, ours was
Oh.
junior senior because the juniors throw it for the seniors, therefore
Yeah.
they're allowed to attend.
Yeah,
I
ours
We're
was.
planned my-
juniors were allowed to attend, but if you went, it was so a social no-no.
Oh, well,
Oh,
I went twice because I like dances and it's
I
fun.
planned when I was junior because I was class president every year since the 8th grade. No brag.
I'm so incredibly not shocked.
I know. People ran against me, but I prevailed. But junior year, it's the I hate myself. That's who I was in high school. I was that kid that everyone hated because she was power hungry. That was me. I was like,
I don't know why that made me laugh. Like a power hungry 18-year-old just makes me laugh.
I was like, I want to run everything, and I tried my best. That's why I wasn't liked in high school. I was that kid. But as junior class officers, we planned the prom that my junior year, and so, of course, because I planned the prom, it was a masquerade because
Ours was masquerade
duh.
themed too, but it was
I
a
love
masquerade every other year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I don't even remember the theme of my senior prom because I wasn't in charge, so I didn't care. I just showed up. But yeah, I loved it. Twice.
Yeah. Ours were masquerade and then Disney. And on my way to my second prom, my date and I had to take separate cars because, people couldn't fit people in cars. And his car got rear-ended. And so we had to go pick him up. It was super fun.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic of prom more than I actually liked attending prom. Because both times, I went junior year, I didn't have a date. And so at last minute, I panic asked one of my friends. And it was that awkward thing where, for a period of time, he kind of liked me and I didn't like him.
Oh my God.
But,
yes.
We were good friends and it was kind of awkward, but we went to prom together. But, just so that we could take photos together, so it looked like we had a date. And then at the actual prom, he didn't dance with me. He danced with other people. And I was by myself breaking it down. So that was kind of lame. And then senior year, I went with this boy that I was dating, which is a whole other situation that we're not going to get into. But
I feel that spiritually.
it's one of those things that you go to prom together, but he's not there for you. He's definitely there to hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
And then you're just I'm here too, Oh.
I'm a terrible person. So I went to prom with a guy that I didn't like just because I wanted a date. Oh, I'm so mean. I'm the worst person. High school Anna was just, she was a 17-year-old. She was shallow and trashy, but also a big old nerd. And adults really liked me, but that's kind of my whole life. But anyway, I went to prom with the same guy. I went to 4 dances with him, 2 homecomings, 2 proms, and no, 1 homecoming and 2 proms. I went to a different homecoming with somebody else that I actually liked. Sorry, Tommy. And the second dance, I said yes to going to prom with him, and then another guy asked me out, and I said yes to dating him. And the guy that I went to prom with was he always asked our friend, hey, can you ask Anna if she likes me? And I'd always say, no! And
no.
I'm an adult, and I would do a lot of things differently if I was in high school now, but I think that's also because, unlike what I said earlier, I'm more mature now. So,
I
that's
kind of
why...
the opposite, the reverse end of that, where the guy that I was dating my senior year, a few weeks before my prom, because he went to a different school, he had gone to his prom with another lady because he had asked her before he and I had started dating.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I knew this girl and I didn't like her, and I was so mad that we were dating and he was going to prom with this other girl. Anyway.
Anyway.
High School Musical.
I feel like I should have some crazy prom. I don't have any. I
Dan,
went to prom with the
It's
girl I
'cause
was
you're a
dating, and it went
boy.
well.
you're so low maintenance, Dan, that you have Caroline and I because we're your high maintenance friends.
Absolutely. Well, also, I realize as I've been looking through my past and in my life, as I near the hour of my death,
Oh my
As you
God.
get
as an
up in
elderly man,
years.
I realized that I grew up with like the most sitcom Leave It to Beaver type family in the world. The biggest issues that happened in my home were like if we didn't have enough ice cream for everybody to share, or if somebody wanted to watch something on TV that somebody else didn't want to watch.
Wow.
I said that to
Or if Aunt Eileen got too drunk at Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. I said that to my mom the other day. I was like, aren't you so lucky that your biggest issue with me when I was in high school was that I like loved to buy makeup and I really loved to buy underwear. I never did drugs or drank. I just would try to hide a Victoria's Secret bag from my mom. Like,
So this podcast doesn't end up running like 3 hours
yeah,
long.
seriously.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
Dan.
going to,
You're gonna have to
I'm going to
cut this
speed
down and
through
post.
some of the next stuff.
Have fun
man.
editing this, Dan.
Yeah, sure. The gang rehearses a scene in the musical called A Night to Remember, which is fun and very Singing in the Rain.
And nobody says thank you 5 to Ryan when he says 5-minute break. Our
Yeah.
asses would have gotten whooped by somebody older than us if we were like, okay.
Also, Kelsey is in this number, but she's not in the show. I don't know why they
Yeah.
put Kelsey in this number. She's
She did that a
conducting the
couple times.
orchestra.
She did that a couple times.
Yeah. Next, Ryan and Kelsey rehearse a song, and then Ryan ends up asking Kelsey to prom, which is always the way that things go. Very cute. I hate Kelsey. I love Ryan.
Then it should balance out to just like for both of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I nothing.
I
nothing
That's
to
worse.
I love the moment after where he tells Sharpay, where she's like, "Did you get the song?" And he goes, "No, but I'm taking her to prom." And she's like, "Good, keep your enemies close." And I was like, "No, he just wanted to take her to prom."
He's just being a nice person, a good friend.
yeah.
Sharpay.
Speaking of persons and friends, we then see Troy and Chad go to the junkyard.
Yes.
Which
They do The Boys Are Back.
it's never mentioned in any other movies that Troy likes to fix cars.
Nope.
Right?
Let alone that Chad also likes to fix cars.
It's
Or that they've been
just-
going to this junkyard since they were literal children.
Yeah.
Well, I will, I feel like this is just something that they threw in because they were like, this Troy guy, he's pretty boring. What does he do in his free time other than basketball? And then they were like, you know what young girls love? When a boy knows how to fix a car. And that's how this was born.
Well, it's a very...
As a former young girl, I did love when a boy could fix a car.
I didn't really have a preference for guys fixing my car.
It's
my
always
dad
that-
usually did it for me.
Well, like, it's that trope, though, right? It's like what you
yeah.
see on Victorious when Beck
Yeah.
fixes his car in the parking lot and all the girls are like, "Oh my god!" You know,
He's
like
covered in
that's the-
grease. He's like wiping it off on a towel.
Yeah, that's like
Maybe it's a little
that's-
hot. Maybe.
Anyway,
Also, in The Boys Are Back, I said it earlier, but for a brief moment, Troy and Chad get Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Yes!
Or what's the movie, The Poof Point, where the parents start aging younger and younger?
They get Benjamin
with
Button.
Taj Mowry? That's
they
it,
get
Benjamin
Benjamin
Button. They get
Button.
Benjamin Button.
I love it.
The little kid playing playing Chad with his little Corbin Bleu wig on. It's a bad wig, but it's so cute. And then also there's just a Mad Max inspired dance break.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
Gage liked that too.
love how this number just embraces play. And like and how they're like, "Oh, you know, we used to be little and none of this mattered." And I love the whole like play pretend aspect where they're like driving the car and they have the wheel and it's all over.
Yeah,
And,
they like
saving
battle the
princess.
car. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's so sweet and so like true to like playing pretend when you're a kid, and how funny how they go from playing pretend in the junkyard to playing pretend on stage. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cute.
And then Gabriella has been accepted into Stanford's honors program, which
Woohoo.
apparently means, hey, guess what? You can drop out of high school
Yeah.
and start going to Stanford right now.
Dan,
Yeah.
you were an honors kid. What did that mean for you?
Not much. It meant my junior and senior year I could register for classes early. But other than that, I got to stay in a dorm that had air conditioning.
Yeah, that was
I
the
don't know.
nicest storm, and
No,
I never
that's
got
nice.
a taste of that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Oh.
What I don't get though, plot holes. Mr. Kenny Ortega should have known better,
Onward.
because they say that it's a special 3-week honors program, that it's like an early orientation. But that would happen over the summer.
Yeah, that would happen
Right.
in like July, wouldn't
And
it?
it would happen right before classes started. It's an early orientation. Like you're going, it's basically like she'd just be there for 3 weeks before actual freshman orientation. And instead it's like, oh, well, for 3 weeks at the very end of your high school career, we're going to ship you off to Stanford. And then you're going to go back and live your life over the summer and then come back. Like, that doesn't make sense.
That sounds awful, honestly. Like, I wouldn't have been able to handle that. I needed the time between high school and college to, like, soak up those last few moments with my friends and prepare, like, mentally prepare for the fact that college, the difference between middle school to high school is not as big as the difference between high school to college.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also, on the other hand, the way Gabriella, like, low-key contemplates throwing her whole career away for Troy for a
my
minute.
Right.
I'm like, honey,
gosh.
no. Like, nobody's saying you have to break up, but also, don't say you... I mean, again, high school Anna probably would have acted similarly because I was immature and young, but as an adult, I'd be like, don't do that. Like, if he really loves you as much as this
Yeah.
series claims he does, you'll stay in touch and he'll come visit you and it'll be fine. Like, if he goes to school at U of A to play basketball, he's not gonna be that far. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but like I've been like not like I've been there, because I was like, peace out, even though because I was dating that boy when I was a senior year and started dating knowing that I was moving across the country and that relationship would end. Like
Yeah.
that was not a permanent thing. I was kind of like on the Chad mindset where he has that line where he's like, dude, everyone knows you don't take the girl with you after high school, which made me kind of like, oh, but
like-
also, like, yeah, like, you don't, like, it's high school, and you live your life, you go your separate ways, and you know that you, like, remain friends or whatever, or
Yeah.
you do long distance, and it works, but, like, Gabriella, honey,
Don't
don't
wreck
throw
your
away
whole
your
life.
life.
And Taylor needed to find a better way to word it, but she's right. Like, there
Yeah.
will be other guys. I mean, it always sucks when you break up with somebody, but 99.99999% of the time, there will be somebody else.
And, like, I get frustrated that Gabriella didn't tell Troy at all that she was going on this thing, or that she even applied for this thing.
Ugh.
And then it's the week before she leaves, and he finds out from someone else, and he's like, you're leaving next week to go, like, 2,000 miles away? And you're missing everything? And she just was like, well,
She
I
should
knew
have.
what you'd say. Like, what?
No, girl. You don't know what he says because you're not a mind reader. You should go up to him and go, "Hey, I'm having a big life decision. Can we rap about that? You know?"
And, like,
We
I
get a
know
little
that
chit-chat.
she didn't want him to be like, you need to go, because she wanted him to say, you should stay here. You know,
But if
like,
he said you should stay here, I'd be like, red flag. Thank you.
yeah, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. That whole thing, Gabriella does not reason well. And
No.
her solution for everything, there's a whole song about it, is just walk away.
Oh,
Her real solution for everything is to get into her mother's minivan.
same. Except it was my minivan.
Shout out to Ms. Montez's minivan. We
Oh,
see it all
I-
the time.
Wrote down though. I put down I know she's in high school, but Gabrielle's being a baby. Also, did this song come from a Baby V album? Because it slaps.
It does. This is such a good song.
Like, you know, Sneaker Night comes on, I'm not in the mood, so I skip it and Walk Away comes on. I'm like, ooh, slow jam, Sad Boy Saturday, baby.
Straight up, this is more than any song in the entire High School Musical trilogy. This song is the one that I sing to myself the most frequently. In my daily life, I'm always like, just walk away.
Mine's
Don't
Scream.
turn back. I know every word to this song. It's great. I love it, but I don't support her behavior in terms of like, I'm not going to deal with my emotions. I'm just going to walk away from them because it's not healthy.
But it's a good. That doesn't mean the song isn't good.
But
Anyway.
it's a bop.
I'm going to read you exactly what the next sentence is on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Troy and his father, comma, Jack, comma,
He has a name?
argue about, I guess,
Okay.
His first name is Coach. Never mind.
Or Mister.
Mister.
argue about which college he will attend, and Troy drives to East High, bewildered, until he finally screams at the top of his lungs in the theater.
Yes. That's not.
That's how
I'll
they
give you.
describe Scream.
I'll give you a better description.
Please do.
Troy steals his dad's keys so that he can break into the school.
Yeah.
They blow the CGI budget on this number. The music is amazing. Somebody got paid to write a harmony line that's just do, like amazing. And he's singing, we're angry dancing. It's just like Footloose. We're throwing our hands up, we're screaming, ah! Like it's so... It's a very healthy scream. Like, we stand that controlled, healthy scream.
Yeah.
That song... Oh, also, he tears down a giant poster of himself because he and the basketball boys are worshipped like gods at their high school.
Yep.
And honestly, I would never have wanted a picture of myself that big at the high school. Can you even imagine?
No.
I'd be like, ooh, like covering my eyes every time I have to walk past it.
I don't think
When
he
I
did
was in
either.
high
That's why he
school-
threw it down.
When I was in high school, there weren't any large pictures of me on the walls, despite my best efforts. But
But you were a volleyball star.
I was not, but my brother was.
Dan the
And
glass
there was a
ankle.
picture of him by the gyms of him serving a volleyball.
Nice.
Framed
Oh
for
my
my
gosh.
entire 4 years of high school. It's still there.
Nice.
He graduated in 2013.
Hey,
and there
he's
were
the
also
same age as
2
me.
other pictures of him in the school because our high school has like an awards ceremony at the end of the year where they give random awards. I was outstanding radio broadcasting student.
Hey,
No big deal.
That
at you.
tracks. Yeah.
Brian was outstanding athlete. So he was the best athlete of the school.
There you go.
And outstanding boy.
Oh. I was
That's
most
what I want to be. I
musical.
want to be outstanding boy.
Also, I have to say, why was Troy dancing on the rigs? He could have
Yeah.
seriously
Yeah,
hurt himself.
That's dangerous.
Everyone
could've-
knows.
Also, he should have been. That probably hurt. He should have been wearing those gloves. That robe.
I know. Those
is
are
sharp.
splintery.
Chester's gonna really appreciate this part. Hi, Chester.
Is Chester,
Chester-
a listener of the
He
pod?
is a listener of the pod, and he
Yes.
taught
He
us.
is?
Yeah, he Snapchatted me about it.
Oh.
He follows all of our social media too, because Chester's a true fan, and number
love
one,
that.
we love him. He taught us better than
Yes.
to be dumb and dance. God forbid dance, but you know, like we should be wearing our gloves when we're pulling on those ropes, and we should
And
be
a hard hat.
yes,
You should
hard
be-
hat, calling out so that everybody knows you're gonna be using them, not goofing around, because we're not trying to get anybody hurt.
Nope.
And that's all I
when
can
that
think
part
of.
of the when they're in rehearsal and that part of the set falls down,
Oh my God, Chester would
I
have had
just
a fit.
pictured Chester so angry.
Oh yeah,
Chester would not have approved at all.
he's not a yeller, but when something like that would happen, I could hear it. I've heard it but twice in my life, and I can hear it now. Ooh.
For
For
those
those
of you who don't
listening
know,
at home, oh, so Dan and I are the same person.
yes, we're just on the right and left audio tracks to really confuse you.
God.
For those of you who don't know, Chester Leffler Bell, Master of Arts. I think he does have a master's degree.
Probably.
Probably.
He is the...
I thought you just meant like I pictured like Master of Puppets when you said that, like just like a joke, not like actually having a degree. Sorry, Chester, but yeah.
He is in charge of the scene shop and teaching at Marquette. He teaches anything shop related, pretty much. He's in charge of that at Marquette. He is an incredible man. He is doing
He's
lousy
great.
as usual, probably.
Chester has lived a life.
Mm-hmm.
Chester and I have played the same role before in Anything Goes. I'm not going to specify what that role is. I think you guys both know. And Chester also was in a performance of Working once when he was in college. Chester and I are the same person. Can you tell?
Chester is a lover of games. He's a lover of theater, coffee,
80s rock.
80s rock, whiskey, lighting design. He's a
He's a
man.
lover of lighting design.
Now that we've gotten into the Chester appreciation part of the podcast,
This is going to be the longest
we've went
episode.
past the say yes to the dress and the what not to wear part of the show. Now we're into the Chester part of the show. Chester is the reason that I did theater at Marquette.
Oh, yeah.
He is, because I was in an
theater for
acting for
non-humans.
non-majors class.
With Chester?
And he was the professor.
You lucky dog.
It was a great class. I loved it. And that's why I auditioned for Anything Goes and was cast as man.
You were a sailor.
Boy.
Yeah,
was a
you were
sailor
my
boy.
dance partner, Dan.
I know.
Don't ever talk bad about Anything Goes. That's
You
how our
lifted
friendship
me.
blossomed.
Anyways. I'm going to yada yada through a lot of the rest of this.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
kind of-
want to have to go this
It's kind
long.
of plain. Like Gabrielle and Troy like make up, but she doesn't want to go to prom, which is stupid. Like people go to prom all the time.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to go back just for prom, and then I have to get used to being gone again, and then I have to come back for graduation and get used to being gone again. I'm like, dude, you're not going to get used to being back in 24 hours.
Ugh,
Right.
I can't. It's not like it's even in a different time zone, is it?
It might be. I think
Oh,
Albuquerque
yeah,
might
maybe
be
it is.
Mountain Time.
Well,
But
still,
also,
it's
like-
only an hour.
Even if she didn't want to go back, that's fine. But her reasoning is stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's selfish. I'm sorry. She's so selfish. Like, anyway.
So, yeah, Troy goes to Stanford, and they have their own prom, and they dance, and they do Can I Have This Dance Again?
Very
and it's
cute. Very cute.
And Sharpay is preparing for the musical, and then Jimmy, who is Rocket Man, has to cover for Troy because Troy will miss the beginning of the performance, which, if that happened when you were in a show in high school, there would be hell to pay.
Oh,
You
yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
just
yeah.
show up for the second act and then
No.
go on and perform.
No, I would have
No.
been murdered.
Yeah.
I would have been
Yeah,
murdered.
absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, the only reason why this is excused is because everybody loves Gabriella and they wanted her to come back, and that is the only reason why this was okay. And even then, in real life, would not have been okay. You wouldn't have even been able, no. There
there's
weren't
some
even
stuff-
understudies when I was in high school.
No, me either. There's some stuff in this movie that I'm like, I feel like that would be considered bullying in a regular high school situation. Like early on when they take Rocket Man's clothes, and later
I was
on.
all for
gosh.
that. I was 100% in support of that.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a girl, and if a girl
What-
did that to another girl, it'd be like a 100% because she's being mean thing, not like just just joshing you thing.
And
But,
it's
like-
it's less okay. The fact that they took the clothes and made him run through the school is one horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But also kind of funny. But the worst part of it is when Taylor and Gabriella are like yearbook opportunity and
Yeah.
they take photos of it.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I guess
borderline
like
abuse.
like they're fully covered, like they're not just standing there naked or something. But still, it seemed embarrassing. But then
These
later on,
vulnerable little beans.
the fact that people like Sharpay, yeah, she's kind of a brat, but the fact that they'd rather have Gabriella on with her so bad, or Gabriella on instead of her so bad that they redo an entire number.
Redo the number.
I was like, that seems really mean. Like, I know that
Yeah.
Rocket Man ruined it. Sharpay didn't really help by not being able to just go with it, like, that's not a sign of a good actress. No wonder you didn't get that Juilliard scholarship, Sharpay. It's because you aren't able to hold it together when your
Yeah.
castmate is goofing ya.
It's because she and Troy were miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles
God.
apart.
I love that part. Oh, God.
What I love is after the number is redone, they cut to Sharpay in her dressing room, which nobody has their own dressing room.
No.
We only
Everybody
crowded around a
shares
bathroom
one.
mirror when
Yeah,
I was in
no
high
way.
school.
But like when I love the moment where she like is being all dramatic, like sobbing to herself, and then she looks up, stares at herself in the mirror, and says, "Sharpay, you're in the wrong costume." And she goes to change. I live and die for that moment.
Me to myself 5 minutes before I have an entrance when I thought I had more time.
So, yeah, as you can tell, they've gotten into the musical. It's not really a musical, it's more of a review.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
like a
overarching
showcase.
plot.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. Some of the songs are fun. Ryan's performance is great,
Always.
As always. Yep.
because he's great. Ryan is my king.
Sharpay is not supportive of him, but
No.
he's like the only one that could really make it in a performance career, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's so
also-
likable.
Yeah.
He is, and he's a yes and kind of dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I love how in this movie they are completely separate as individuals.
Yeah.
Because they were like, he was just her little puppy dog in the first movie. We started to see him kind of find his own in the second movie. And in the third one, Ryan is his own dude. He has his own personality traits and his own, like, life that he's living separate from Sharpay. And I think that is awesome, and we stand Ryan.
We stand
stand a
growth.
king.
We stand character development.
Yes. And I think Sharpay is weakened by not having him.
Oh, absolutely. He's her greatest
and-
attribute, and she
Yeah.
refuses to admit it.
And I think that's also kind of cool. Yeah, anyways. We love Ryan.
So at the end of the musical, we see all the seniors in the musical, and we hear what they're doing in the future as they solemnly sing "We're All in This Together" as a backing track.
Wait, we skipped over one important thing. Troy walking
is it
in.
when Chad goes to shoot hoops in the middle
No,
of the
that's
performance?
next.
No,
That's
no,
after.
no.
Okay.
It's when Troy comes in and he's singing to Gabriella because they're reprising the song that Sharpay literally just tried to do. And the Juilliard people go,
That's
is Troy Bolton. Oh,
I cannot.
Gage rolled his eyes so hard I thought he was going to throw his neck out.
Also, no Juilliard representative is wearing a shrug. Sorry.
No, oh my god.
I don't care if it was 2008.
No, they should have been on their way out by that point in time.
Yeah, sorry.
So we see where all the main characters are going to school. Troy, well, I'll get to Troy last. Gabriella is obviously Stanford pre-law. Chad's going to the University of Albuquerque on a basketball scholarship. Taylor to Yale for political science. Sharpay really dropped down from Juilliard to the University of Albuquerque Theater Department.
Also, okay, I have two things to say about this before we talk about Troy, which I have a lot to say about. But I love the moment where she calls on Jason and she's like, oh, you did it. You graduated.
I was like, there's one in every class. There's
Absolutely.
one in every class.
There's always that one kid that it's like, we're just really glad that you made it.
We're just glad to
because-
mark you down as a graduate, you know?
Well, and like there are so many kids who drop out of high school, especially like nowadays, and it's like for a lot of people, like just graduating high school is such an accomplishment, and being the first of your family to graduate high school, you know, like I think sometimes we skip over graduating high school as an accomplishment because we're like, yeah, well, duh, everybody does it. But they really don't. And
Yeah.
Jason, we have seen poor Jason's struggle. throughout this movie, especially like the beginning where he's like, dude, I'm gonna be retaking my finals like 3 or 4 times. I don't have time. But he did it, and I was so proud of Jason. And also, it is a true sign of Sharpay's lack of growth as a person that she will be returning as soon as she graduates to help run her high school theater department, because Sharpay Evans will never leave high school.
No.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm all here for, like, going back and helping out with stuff. Like, if a teacher really liked you and they're willing to pay you, like, to come back and help, I probably would have done stuff like that.
She is just doing that because she still wants to be in control of it, and she's not going to be able to leave her high school career behind.
Yeah, girl, it's time to move on.
Time to move on, honey.
You're going to be in college for 1 second. You're going to be like, I'm never setting foot back in this place unless I have to.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Anyways, Chad,
Kelsey and Ryan, they go to Juilliard. Great.
Yes.
I mean, sorry. Great for Ryan.
Oh, hush.
And then Troy. Where does Troy decide to go to? So he can both play basketball and perform in the theater. He decides to go to the University of California at Berkeley.
And also be close to his lady love.
Yes.
Yeah. Let us not
I just
forget
wanna-
that choice. I feel like that choice was made just because he wanted to be near Gabriella.
Yeah, but I mean, at least
But
they're at different
I don't know.
schools. I mean, I know, like, it doesn't matter. Like, some people do go to the same school as, like, their significant other, and it's fine. They're a very tumultuous couple. I don't think they'll last. So I'm going to say at least they're at different schools.
Yeah, I don't think they'll last either.
So let's say that let's say this graduation happens in 2008.
Yes.
Yeah.
That means that Troy will be going to the 2008-2009 University of California, Berkeley Golden Bears men's basketball team.
You've never
That
heard
team-
of them for a reason.
Well, no, they're an actual team. They made the NCAA tournament. They made the first round. They went 22-11. My point is, he is nowhere near good enough at basketball to be playing on a Pac-12 team. Pac-12 is
also
a
tiny.
top 5 major conference. He is 4'11".
Yeah.
He can barely pass. He can't shoot. What
He has
can
to
he
sing
do?
to
He
play.
has moxie.
Yeah.
He has moxie.
He can
would-
only succeed if his girlfriend is singing to him in the crowd.
Yeah. And she's going to be studying pre-law.
Yeah, she's got to have no time, trust
He
me.
ain't never gonna see her.
Unrealistic. I can't believe this
Unrealistic.
High School Musical film isn't realistic about where he's going to school.
Also, like, let's be real. In college, you can't do basketball and theater.
Yep, that's what Gabe said too.
Absolutely
He's
not.
like, he's going to realize in 2 seconds that that's impossible.
It is impossible. You can absolutely do it in high school, but you can't do that once you're at the collegiate level.
I guess maybe you can. Like, my freshman year, there was a guy in our class who you guys don't know. He got kicked out. But anyway,
Love that.
he was on a sport team, and he just did an audition for the final show of the year. They understood that he was there on a sports scholarship, and they were like, okay, we just won't see you for this final event of the year. That's fine. But it only happened for 2 years, so who's to say?
But like training and all that stuff, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when you're playing basketball, that's like year round.
Yeah,
even
the
though
grind
season
never
is
ends.
only, even though the season's only whatever the season is, fall question mark. I don't know.
It's,
I
it's
watch.
winter, Caroline.
I only care about football.
I
But
say football's fall, basketball's winter, baseball's spring.
there you go. There you go. Well, now that we know, it's just not realistic. I'm sorry.
And as Anna Otto knows far too well about her time playing basketball, the grind just don't stop.
It don't stop. It don't
I
stop.
love your form on the fake free throws you're shooting right
I
there.
was a terrible basketball player. My glasses got knocked off. This was in 8th grade. My glasses got knocked off by another girl, and my dad from the crowd yelled, "Leave them there! I'll buy you new ones!"
Oh my
I picked
gosh.
them back up and like was dribbling with my glasses because I couldn't see, and I was scared of the other
Yeah.
girls. girls basketball specifically, that's ruthless.
rough.
Women's sports, in my opinion, are 99% of the time much more intense than men's sports.
Because
Women
women
are not
gotta
afraid to
fight
tear it up.
harder to be taken seriously.
Not afraid to
Absolutely.
tear it up. My cousin played soccer, and she was always getting, or she was the one throwing elbows. It was bad. Anyway.
So, back to the film.
Oh, right. We're talking about a movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
This has
Oh.
been a
We have
very
little bit
chatty
left.
episode. Sorry,
It has
everyone.
been.
Sorry.
It's been a very chatty. Not a very chatty. We haven't delved
Chatty
deep
Tatty.
into Corbin Bleu.
We could. This
We
is a
really
great
could.
movie for him.
So Troy is giving the speech at graduation because of course he is.
Because
Of
Yeah,
course
why?
he is.
you
He's
know
not
he was not
valedictorian.
valedictorian. You know that
No.
was some class elected speaker crap.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. Absolutely.
We had a class elected speaker. Along
I'm
with the
sorry.
valedictorian.
Taylor should have been giving that speech. Let's be honest.
We had like 5 people give speeches at my high school graduation. It was like class president, valedictorian, salutatorian, elected commencement speaker.
Well, see, I went to high school in Alabama, so guess what I had to what I was honored to do at our graduation.
Listen to Tommy Tuberville? I don't know.
Introduce the football players.
I gave the prayer.
Amen.
Ah.
Amen.
Amen. We love the Lord.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Crimson Tide.
God.
Oh, that's funny. Anyways, yes.
Then everybody sings the titular song, High School Musical. And they do a group bow, and the very CGI curtain closes on them. And that brings to an end High School Musical 3, Senioritis.
Yes.
Their final number where they're making the Wildcat and the HM and all that
it's so
stuff.
cute.
That's really cool.
Incredibly well coordinated.
Would you expect
How-
anything less from Kenny?
Oh no, but like how can you imagine? I wonder how many days it took just to film that.
They
Oh,
had
yeah.
2,000 extras.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my word!
I wish I had been an extra for High School Musical. That would
I
have been
bet
so
you got
fun.
paid well too, because they had bukus of money. I bet you could get a hefty check for being an extra on High School Musical.
I bet you their, what is it called? Their food table. I can't think of what that's called.
Craft
That was-
services.
Yeah, I bet their craft services was litty.
Ooh, you know they
Hey.
had donuts at their craft services table.
Adult Swim craft services is pretty chill.
I love it.
So, some trivia about the film. Zac Efron injured his wrist while they were filming Scream, most likely during the rotating hallway sequence.
Yeah,
The
it's
Inception.
terrifying.
Inspiring rotating hallway sequence.
I love it.
The film took 41 days to shoot, which feels short,
I was
but
gonna say,
also
that's
it's
it?
longer than the first two.
I don't know. That seems so short.
I
Maybe
feel like
they were just like really killing it, so they were all one-take wonders for a lot of stuff.
well, like they couldn't shoot these for too long because one, they were filming at a school
True.
that was in session, and two, all these kids were also in school
True.
that were in the
Yeah.
movie, so they had to be very strategic about their filming schedule, and also the laws for children filming, under 18s filming
They're insane.
TV. I'm sure probably also contributed to.
I think
laws
that most
for
of
schedule.
the main cast, they were all adults. for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
But like any
Just like the
extras
background
and
or the
stuff that
extras
were
and stuff,
younger. Yeah.
yeah.
Lucas Grabeel pushed for Ryan to come out in this movie, which we stand
should've.
king.
Oh,
do,
that
and he
would have been
should've.
so good. They weren't ready for it in 2008.
He's too strong of a character. They wouldn't have been ready. People would have freaked out. Stupid, but that was the time.
Corbin Bleu's father
Yes.
Yes.
plays Chad's father.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
I
knew
forgot
that.
about
Also
that
was
entirely.
his father in Jump In.
Yes.
Yep.
Crazy.
I love that.
I love in the opening sequence when there's silence and you just hear Chad's dad yell, "That's a foul!"
It's so good.
Iconic line.
And the last piece of trivia is that the original plot of the movie and the original title was Haunted High School Musical, and it was going to be a Halloween-themed musical.
What?
That could
That's
have been
all the
really
info
fun.
that I could find about it.
Oh
That
my
could have been very fun,
word.
actually.
What
Right?
I would pay to hear those songs. Oh man, Halloween is my favorite holiday. I would have been lit for that.
They wouldn't have been able to include basketball then, though.
A spooky basketball.
Ooh,
Maybe
the
Dribbling
basketball is
Pumpkins.
haunted. Ooh.
Ooh. High School Musical in the case of the haunted basketball.
Pretty much.
I love that episode of Perry
I love
Mason.
it.
So, of the three, where do you rank this? How do you rank the three films?
Caroline?
I mean, I stand firm. 3, 1, 2. It's always been how I rank them. I will never waver.
Anna?
I'm going to go with a solid 1, 2, 3. I just
Ooh.
love them in that order.
We've all got different rankings. I'm 2, 3, 1.
Ooh.
Ooh, all right.
Look at this.
I love
Look
it.
at us. So out of five, Gabriella standing up in the middle of the crowd, parting the Red Sea and yelling, "Troy!" What do you give this movie?
I would give it like a 4. There are
Okay.
some things that I feel like could have really made it a 5. Like Ryan coming out would have been dope. Seeing more character development in Sharpay would have been great. And Gabriella being less whiny would have been awesome. Those are the 3 things that, like, for me, really would have made this a 5-star movie. I love this, though, so I give it a 4.
Okay,
The
Anna?
songs are great.
I'll give it a 3.5. The
Solid.
songs are not strong enough for me. Like, they're not consistently strong enough for me. Some of them are really, 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 really good. Some of them are meh. You know, like, there are just some things that I really think could have had, some more work put in on them. Sorry, Kenny. But, it's fine. 3.5. I like it a lot, though. Don't get me wrong. I would watch it again and again and again and again.
I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. A whole extra half-star for Scream on its own.
Amazing. 5 stars
I
for
love
Scream by itself.
Scream is such a good song.
Oh my god, I know. It's my favorite song in the whole movie.
Mine's
Oh,
probably
let's
I
play
Want
it.
It All, or Just Don't Walk Away. I mean, Just Walk Away, not Don't Walk Away. That would have been a very
Same.
different story.
Yeah. I get confused because there's a song called Now or Never, and there's a song called Walk Away. So when I hear Now or Never, I think of the Elvis Now or Never. Or is it Roy Orbison? One of the two. And when I
Damn,
hear
you're
Walk
so
Away, I
old.
think of the Kelly Clarkson Walk Away. So I'm picturing Gabriella just going, "Just walk away."
Oh, no.
When I was younger, there was a song that my cousin showed me called Walk Away by a woman named Paula Deanda, and that's what I always think of. And it goes, saw you with your new girl just yesterday, and I feel that I must confess. Ooh, it's so good. I don't know what category it is. It's like very much not directed towards myself, a middle-class white woman. But I'm not really sure who it's, is aimed toward. It's good. It's such a good song, though.
You know what I love? I love about this trilogy is that it stayed a trilogy. I love that they ended it here. That it was junior year, summer between junior and senior year, and then senior year, period. I don't like that, because, I mean, the TV show doesn't have anything to do with this.
Sharpay's
Movie
Great
series?
Adventure, anyone?
Fabulous Adventure.
Ugh,
Fabulous, excuse
gross.
me.
But, like, that they didn't do a High School Musical 4, you
Okay,
know?
yeah.
That's, like, one of my biggest qualms with the Toy Story franchise is that it had such a good end, and then they made a 4th one.
Fair,
know?
except I love Sporky, thank you.
I still haven't watched the 4th because
Oh,
I'm
you gotta.
kind of bitter.
No,
but
it's
I
kinda-
need to
it's
watch
cute.
it.
It's cute for sure.
I think that's a good place to end the episode. We're wrapping up the trilogy right here. Join us again in 2 months when we come back with a 4th installment of the High School Musical trilogy.
Oh my
I don't know what
gosh.
it'll be, but it'll be sure to ruin the franchise. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Caroline, for joining us these past 3 weeks. It's been very fun having you. Hopefully we have you again for, I don't know, Brink?
Descendants.
Descendants.
Descendants, I will totally come back. If you do an episode on Hercules, I will be here.
Okay.
Harry
I'm slotting
Potter,
you in
I'm
for
game.
Descendants because Gage
Literally.
won't talk about it, so you have to come talk about it.
Just put me in wherever. I will pretty much watch anything.
Okay. That's a good way to approach it. I don't know. Join us next week, folks, when we will be talking about Blues Brothers.
Ooh.
Which
our
I've
special
never
guest.
seen.
I've only seen it once, but our guest has seen it many times. It's my friend, Anna. I think you know him. Alex Langosh.
I did a little
Ah.
Facebook stalk. We've definitely seen each other before. This will be our first or second time talking to each other.
And Caroline, I once recommended you as an actor for a short film of his because he was looking for somebody who had cowboy boots. And because you're from the South, I assumed you had cowboy boots.
I did, but I did not take them with me to college. I left them with my mom in Alabama. We're the same size shoe, so left them with Katie Cat. But I have met Alex before. It'll be interesting.
Yes.
It'll be great. It'll be a very funny episode, I'm sure.
So join us next week, if you please, and I hope you please. If you like the show, if you like the podcast, please like and rate and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It's very helpful to us to get that metrics, to get that search results. That's good for us. It gets more ears. Hopefully not more eyes, but more ears on the podcast, which is what we want. Because we're trying to harvest ears here at In Conclusion. This is all
We love
front.
ears. Mm-hmm.
We love ears. Caroline, where can they find you on the social medias?
Don't. Don't follow me on social media. I probably won't let you. I keep my social medias private, but if you want to see what I do in my life, you can follow Summit Players Theater on whatever social media. That is where I work as a director of education and as an actor. That is where I am doing a No Bummer Summer digital Shakespearean season series, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to learn about
series.
if you want to learn about Shakespeare, that's where you can find me. That's what I do. Huzzah.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter at DanO'Keefe86. You can find me on Instagram at DLRAAR. Find the show on Twitter at And In Conclusion. Find us on Facebook, look up In Conclusion, and find us on Instagram at In Conclusion Podcast. And Anna Otto, where are you?
I'm on right now I'm in my apartment. But you can find me on Instagram at AutomusPrime818, and then you can find me on Twitter. Dan, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
At Autobots Rollout, capital O, capital B, capital R, 0 for the O and roll, and 0 for the O and out.
My week has been made, and hopefully all of yours has as well. Thank you to everybody for listening. We'll be back next week, as I said, with the Blues Brothers. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, like my mom tells me stories about that, like cars that had no power steering and in the past and how hard it was, and I was like, oh, I would not fare well. I barely fare well now as a driver.